First, I just want to say thank you for coming out and enjoying the reopening of what is now the Birch Bayh Community Center. So thank you. I really shouldn't be standing up here. Tom Doan, who is our park superintendent, who had the vision for this center and what it could be. Many of you remember what it was, and he had the vision for what it could be. So I'm not here to take the credit for this vision, because Tom had this vision last year. We were working on the pool, and we kept looking over to this building and saying, next year, next year. And he had a dream, and he had a vision for what it could be and how it could impact our community. So Tom had to take his father to the hospital in Anderson, who's dealing with some serious spine, possibly cancer. And so if you would put him in your prayers, but first, if you'd give him a round of applause, he'd really... Michael, there is a picture up on top of the fridge. Could I get that, please? Before I go any further, would you give a round of applause to my assistant, Stacy Anderson, who put all this together today? She's hiding in the kitchen, but I got to meet, many of you know Pat Manship, who's our county surveyor, and Pat keeps care of the creeks and the ditches, and he's the reason that the flood had less of an impact than it could have had, because he had dredged the creek from north to south last year, so the waters were able to move away more quickly than they would have had he not done that. He is sick. He had some dental work done and wasn't feeling well, but his father John came tonight. I don't know if all of you know John Manship or not, but John's hiding in the corner. And he brought a very special gift. He's closing his office down, and a picture that has hung in his office for more than 50 years is an autographed photo to his friend John from a very young Senator Birch. And if you see the new sign and picture that Tom had made with H&H Signs, Pat and Alicia Hose, it was Birch Bayh on his end days as senator, and I'm so honored to have a picture of the beginning days of Senator Birch Bayh. And it's going to hang with honor in this building because of his efforts in the 70s. This building was able to be converted from that was once the original bathhouse for a pool into a senior citizen center in the 70s. So back in 1980, this was dedicated with then Senator Birch Bayh here. And I called the senator's office months ago and talked to his assistant, and she said Birch is well into his 80s and can't fly anymore. But he was going to write a letter that we can hang out here. And he was so honored to hear that the building was here and we were renovating it, and that the community still loved it and used it. And he was honored that we were keeping his name on it, and he would have loved to have been here, but he can't fly anymore. So we always have to remember from where it is we came before we figure out where it is we need to go. So the good book tells us when we owe debts, we pay debts, and we owe a debt to a senator that was very good to the old community, Senator Birch Bayh. Can we give him a round of applause? Many folks have helped with this center, just like the pool, just like all the exciting things that are going on in the park. There's many improvements happening. And I want to dispel one big rumor. Our community suffers from rumors. This center may not be called the Senior Citizen Center anymore, but the seniors had better come back with those cards and do all the things that they would like to do in this center, because it's for you and you and you and you and every person in our community. And you are more than welcome. We did this for you. So please come back. Please. Okay? This center is open to everyone in our community. So don't listen to those silly rumors that there's someone we don't want in this building. We want everyone in this building. And we did it for you. That's why we want this the best it can be for you all. So come back, play cards, host your parties. Just come if you want to have a coffee club. I don't care what you do in here. It's your building. It's your community center. Use it. I want to recognize some folks. One of the things we've done so successfully over the last year and a half is we're working with anybody who will work with us. We're building relationships and teams, and we got to do this together. We're too small to do it separately, right? We got to do it together. So, a year and a half ago, I said, you know, if you have a pool and you have function, you have basketball, and you have all those things, shouldn't the Y be involved in that? I had some people tell me, no way, why? We don't want the Y involved. No, we've got to have the YMCA involved. So I talked to them. I said, God, we'd love to be involved. And so we've come a long way in a year and a half. And from all of that effort and that ability just to sit down and talk and find out what it is we agreed on and forgot about what we disagreed on, we figured out there were ways to work together for the betterment of health. And so it just excited me that at the beginning of this year that a new executive director was named for the Elwood YMCA. And an Elwood, I won't call you a boy because you're a man, but one Elwood zone was named the executive director of the Elwood YMCA. So one of our own native sons, Brandon Melvin. Brandon, come on up here. And Brandon has more energy and more ideas than I have. So he's younger than me, so he's got a leg up on him. But he brings more excitement, more energy, more ideas to the table than we started out with. And so if you haven't looked at what's going on in the pool, give this man a round of applause because this is his product now. He's managing this. This is his pool. So please give him a round of applause. One of the things we wanted to be sure to do was we wanted to improve the pool every year. We wanted to have something new, something fun, something to bring the kids back, to bring the families back. And so we started last year with the slides. And this year, Brandon looked and came up with, I always call it the wrong thing, Brandon. It's called
the Wiggle Bridge.
The Wiggle Bridge. If you haven't seen it out there, I challenge any adult to make it from one end to the other. It's hard. The younger and littler you are, the easier it is. So that just gives you a clue. The older you get and the bigger you get, it almost becomes impossible. So, but we added the Wiggle Bridge, and Brandon has some ideas for what we're going to add next year. And he's got a contest, if you will. He's got 3 things that we could add to the pool, and he's had it up in the bathhouse and by the concession stand. People have been voting on their choice, and he wanted to bring it over here tonight. He's going to put it out. All of you, please vote on what your choice would be to add for next year's addition to the pool. But here's what I want you to understand about this pool. This pool is in solid financial health. It's on firm financial footing. And yesterday, or the day before, we had 350 kids in the pool in one afternoon. One afternoon. That was yesterday. And the day before. All right, both 350 kids playing in the pool. And that's what it's all about. Families and kids playing in the pool. And through a lot of hard work on Brandon's behalf, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are all free to kids 18 and under, both in the afternoon session and the newly added evening sessions. So there are 3 days times 2 sessions. There are 6 opportunities every week for our youth to swim in this pool at no cost because they're underwritten by corporate citizens, private citizens, families, people in this community are embracing this pool, and the youth of our community is taking full advantage of it. And families have returned to our parks. We're excited. We're excited the partnership with the Y. All the things. If you haven't been to the YMCA lately, you got to get up there because Brandon's doing a lot of exciting things up there too.
I haven't been to the YMCA lately.
He let his pool managers have a week's vacation during the pool season. So he's been working from about 7 a.m. to about 11 p.m. every night. I asked him if his wife was still speaking to him, and he told me yes, as of right now she is, but I don't know how long it's going to last.
I had a couple more days.
But he's fully committed. And if you don't believe, we don't have good people in this community that are committed to it, to making it better, making it all it can be, you're listening to the wrong people because we do. Brandon is one of those great young leaders that's rising up and taking charge of his community and making it better. And thank you for being my friend. Thank you for working with you. Thank you. Thank you.
I will leave these here. Just a real quick. The Wiggle Bridge, I have two things that are made out of the same material. One's a high jump, and one's called a hurdle that they can go up and under. The other is a stationary 4-bucket platform that will dump buckets of water.
That's my
I will leave these three things here for you guys to look at. I ask you just mark whatever one, you don't have to put your name or anything like that. Just mark what you'd like to see. And then after the pool season closes this year, obviously we'll kind of start to a little bit of a campaign mode because these are completely different prices. So just like the pool, it will be totally donations, totally from generosity of the community.
And we are determined to add something every year. And Brandon is operating this pool at high efficiency. And I'm not going to jinx this, but we are on track for this pool to have a surplus at the end of the pool season in the second year it's operating. And in a small community, that's no small feat. So again, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate your leadership on it very much. Also, he's not going to tell you that. If you haven't checked out the cost of memberships to the Y, the different discount programs that he has, all kinds of different enrollment opportunities, he will make a deal with you. He will make it impossible for you to say no, that you don't want to be a member of that Y. There's all kinds of benefits to that. And my family's members, and when you're members, you get a discount to your pass, your season pass at the pool, and you get all kinds of goodies and additions to that. So if you have not been to the Y lately, you haven't been to the Elwood Y. So check out the membership prices, all the things they have to offer, and you're going to be pleased and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I believe he's right.
I want to well make sure that you don't go away without knowing who our park caretakers are that are living in the home in the park. They are a dynamite young couple who love this park. I don't think anybody could more than I do, but they do. Their hearts are fully in it. They are public servants through and through. They proved themselves. 2 weeks ago, we had our first family movie night in the park with 138 people. We had the community fair the next day with a record amount. I've heard anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people in the park. And then the very next day, on that Sunday, the concerts in the park season started, and they had a record number of people with, I think, over 700 people that day as well. And Nick and Amy, you could have come out at any time in any of those 3 days, and the park will look beautiful. It's all because of Nick and Kami Roberts, and they're right here. Please give them some. Real quickly, I want to recognize, because our park board president has to leave, and I'm holding him up, and I don't want to get him fired. So we've got 2 park board members here, and I would like them to just come up and let's recognize them. And we have Shannon Huffman, who is our park board president, and Sandy Ratliff. Are you the secretary, Sandy?
No.
Okay, I won't give you a title.
She's an ex officio.
Okay. Sandy is a member of the park board, and she's also a member of the school board. And so both of these folks are public servants. Please give them a round of applause. They have ideas of their own. They have dreams and visions and all kinds of things. We have big plans through and through for every facet of this community, from our parks to our schools to our city, our infrastructure, for new jobs, industry, businesses. And these are two very important people that have lots of dreams and visions of their own. None of this would be possible if the park board didn't embrace stepping out there, making things better, embracing new ideas, new visions, and personally, I want to thank you both for not telling me I'm totally crazy and riding along with that. Sandy and her role in the school board, I don't know, you know, the middle school is getting a new roof. There was a lot of gravel that was on that flat roof. And so Sandy sees all this gravel coming off that roof and going in a pile behind the school. And she knows we want to put in more parking down at our soon-to-be newly improved basketball courts right down here. And so Sandy's coming to us after the park board meeting the other night going, hey, we need to use that gravel over there for the parking. So we're recycling, and we took it off the roof of the middle school, and it's going to be over here for parking for our basketball guys. So those are the kind of things that when people are working together and everyone's connecting and utilizing the resources that we have, we're able to continue to improve things one after another, after another, after another. So that's just a perfect example of just working together and how we make things better. So some of the things that we're going to do in the park, I won't steal your thunder, I'll let you talk about. New asphalt's going down through the main drag of the park. It'll be in time. Marcy Fry's here is our chamber director, and she has warned us that the Glass Festival is going to be the biggest in recent history. So, so would you give her a round of applause, because she's our cheerleader. With her vision and foresight, she is taking vendors all the way down to the footbridge, correct? So they're not stopping at the circle in front of the shelter house anymore. They're going to come all the way down to the footbridge. And so in order to do that, we need to put in some more water pits, because these vendors need water sources to serve food and different things they do. They need electricity. So we're putting in additional poles for them to plug into the electricity. And so we are going to be ready for the Chamber of Commerce and the biggest glass festival in our history with the improvements we're making in the park. So don't miss this year's glass festival. I know she needs volunteers for this. I saw it in the newspaper and I see her emails and all. She needs help. If you have any time to donate for the glass festival, please see Marcy. Don't leave here without signing up, because I don't know how she's going to do it with it being another 30 to 50% bigger than it was. So she's not going to do it if you all don't step up and help her. So please do. We're going to have new asphalt. We're going to have new basketball courts, brand new goals, new asphalt's going in. We've got lots and lots of things that are going on. So the drinking fountains will go in around the park that are ADA compliant. New grills will go in. All the areas that you can reserve will have new grills for folks to use. So the list goes on and on. But your park board president is Shannon Huffman.
Thank you. Some of the improvements that I've wanted to do since I took over as president of the park board was I wanted to see the use of the park increase, which it has, tremendously. One of the things I want to also do is allow more space for people to have their family reunions. Currently in the park, we only have 2 pavilions and a shelter house. So I want to expand the pavilions and make it so we have somewhere around 5. I don't really have the money in my budget to do so, so I came up with kind of a way that we're going to be able to do it is by sponsoring the current pavilions that are in the park. So we're going to work with some numbers about how people can sponsor the pavilion. Their name will go on the front of it. So instead of it being the back pavilion, it would be whoever sponsored it, whether it be Paul Schallenberger, American Family, or whoever it may be. But that would allow that person's name to be on that one, and then so on throughout the park. The money then would be collected from that, and we'd build another shelter or another pavilion. One of the other things I'm real excited about that we're going to be doing is we're going to add Wi-Fi to the park. It'll broadcast somewhere around the area here. Me and Al Jordan have talked about it. Let's give him a hand. He's going to be donating the equipment to do that.
who Al is. Al is also known as the Computer Dude, and his site is elwoodindiana.org. If you haven't visited that site, please go on elwoodindiana.org. It's got lots of great things about Elwood and all the things that are going on. And Al does a great job helping us get the word out and communicate. And we thank him for his contribution to help us have Wi-Fi in the house. So, Al, thank you.
One of the other things I'd like to do, and I'm still working on legality situations and how it's supposed to happen, but I'd like to put a vending machine in the shelter house. We have several people over there at the park daily with no, I mean, there's water fountains, but what if they wanted a bottle of water or anything like that? I want to be able to provide that for people, so that's one of the things also I want to add, is hopefully we can put a vending machine in the shelter house. So, I mean, for right now, those are the big things that we're trying to do. I appreciate everybody coming out, and I'm going to have to be leaving, so thank you for coming.
And so, one of my closest friends, and a guy who, as of today, has never said no to me, but I know that day is coming. But he is now he's your street commissioner, and that's Jimmy Robertson. Jimmy, would you stand up? A lot of Jim's labor went into this building. He did a lot of work behind the scenes, supported Tom and all the things that he did. And so thank you very, very, very much. He is overseeing all the new asphalt that's going in, helping us get the basketball courts done, drive redone, all that done. So thank you for that. We also have one of our city council members here. If you don't know Pat Rice, Pat, raise your hand. Please give him a round of applause. We're so glad that Pat is back on the council. Thanks for being willing to step back up after a long tenure. We needed your leadership. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Our clerk treasurer, Allison Atwood, is standing here with baby in tow. And we're glad that she is out here. She keeps us straight, makes sure that we spend the money out of the right funds and we don't spend more money than we have, and keeps all those trains on the track, and that's no easy feat because we're doing a lot of things all the time. And we were joking last night at a meeting that there's only one speed and one track, and they're all fast trains, and they just move through here very quickly. So Allison keeps all of that straight, and I personally and professionally appreciate all that you do for your community. So thank you. I think our economic development director, did he leave? Is he not here? I don't see him now. Is he outside? We have a new factory coming into Elwood. I know you've heard about it. Warner Bodies sign is up at the old plastic site. We're going to be in by the first of the year. That's 200 people working in Elwood, Indiana, working for, and Bill worked very, very hard on that. Will you give him a round of applause, even though he's not here? And have I forgotten anybody? Anyone hiding in the corners? For those of you who don't know my mother's here, Linda.
And number 18.
And if you don't know my wife, please say hi to her tonight and shake her hand. More importantly, give her a hug. We're a hug family. Give her a hug. Tell her how much you appreciate her sacrifice for all that goes on in the city and all that I'm involved in. It's because she helps take care of 5 kids with busy schedules and allows me to do all the things we're trying to do. So for me, would you give her a round of applause? Yeah, thank you. Everyone knows Shonda, right?
Yeah,
She's my adopted 8th child.
yeah.
And she's my biggest fan. I'm very proud of that. listen, tonight is about fun and enjoying this community center being reopened. The floodwaters tried to take it away from us. We got it done on Thursday, and the flood came on Friday. And we held our breath. Did any of you see the pictures on elwoodindiana.org? This was an island, water surrounded it. And Tom Doan had to get up under this, dry it, treat it, make sure mold wasn't growing. Jimmy helped him do that. And he saved this building. We thought we were going to have to tear everything out and redo it. He saved it. He kept the mold from growing, got it all going again. So this community center is open. Right? The pool is open until 10 o'clock. It's mayor's night at the pool. So please, it's on me. The grill, the patio is open. The center is open until 9 o'clock tonight, so there's plenty of time. Look around, check on the rates. The rates are very reasonable to rent this facility. Use this facility, please. It's great for birthday parties, graduations, weddings, card parties, anything and everything. We're going to bring movies into it this winter. We're going to have game nights. We're going to have some Xboxes and PlayStation. If you've noticed the TV screens in all the areas, those are here for a reason. So we're gonna make good use of those. So please take advantage of all that we have to offer here. And again, thank you very, very much for being out here. We appreciate you being here, and enjoy the evening.